subject of the teaching and meditation is Mahamudra, according Gelug tradition. We call also Gandhin tradition. Some people maybe haven't heard Gelug Mahamudra, and yes, we do have a wonderful Mahamudra teachings, very profound teachings. The Mahamudra practice, according Gelug lineage, is direct one. It was come from Buddha Shakyamuni, then to Manjushri, the lineage. From Manjushri to Lama Umapa Pawa Dorje, he was a guru of Lama Je Tsongkhapa, and then gradually come down to the first Panchen Lama, Losang Chuji Jelsen, and then come down to current up to now, until now, it's unbroken lineage we have, and very unique practice. And so there are different levels of Mahamudra. First of all, Sutra Mahamudra and Tantra Mahamudra, 2 levels. And the Sutra Mahamudra also has 2 levels, Samatha Mahamudra and Vipassana Mahamudra. At this point, I was requested to talk about Vipassana Mahamudra, because the Samatha Mahamudra is quite common, especially in the Kagyu tradition, and there are a number of books, and you can find them. And Samatha Mahamudra teaching according Kagyu and Gelug are more or less same or similar. I should say similar. And the Vipassana Mahamudra is different. So this is why I'm talking here, Vipassana Mahamudra. And Vipassana Mahamudra is also known as a Madhyamika and Uma Chenpo in Tibetan word. Uma Chenpo means great, Madhyamika. Lama Tsongkhapa himself used the term Uma Chenpo instead of Mahamudra. Then the first Panchen Lama, Losang Chuji Jelsen, he compiled root text of Mahamudra and auto commentary by his own commentary. So there's lots of details on Mahamudra teachings. I have received this teaching from my gurus, and so this time I will explain a little bit. Vipassana Mahamudra, Tibetan word is laktung. Laktung is extra or additional seeing or experience. So usually when we do Mahamudra meditation, we meditate on the mind. The subject is the mind, the object is the mind. The subject is coarse mind, the object is subtle mind. So it's like mind to mind, according Theravadan Buddhist Vipassana meditation. There's a word called mind to mind, body to body. Okay, kind of like that, mind to mind. So here is the object is the mind, and now I should actually say the literal meaning, Mahamudra. Okay, Mu is shunyata, emptiness, Mu. Dra is a liberating quality. When you experience shunyata, Mu, emptiness of the mind, then your mind will be liberated. And this is the great one. This is why Maha. Maha means the great one. Very famous Indian Buddhist philosopher, Master Ayadeva, said in his 400 verses, Uma Hijapa in Tibetan, said, even slightest doubt, or when you have a doubt or some inquiring mind about shunyata, that is marvelous. That inquiring mind of shunyata will eliminate or destroy your samsara, like you're holding chopping knife and chopping down vegetables or chopping some material. So this is an example, very beautiful and powerful. So here, meditating on the mind, and you focus the mind on the mind. But here now, Vipassana Mahamudra is meditating on emptiness of the mind. Okay. So first of all, I should say a few words about the mind. What is mind anyways? So mind is consciousness, and we have primary mind and secondary mind and mental factors and so forth. I'm not going to go into all these details. And you can study text, Pramana, Vatika, and Abhidharma, and Madhyamika, and so forth. So, according Prajnaparamita Sutra, states, mind doesn't exist within the mind. The true nature of the mind is clear light. Okay. So, when it says mind doesn't exist within the mind, and that means when you look at the mind, you cannot find the mind. And on a level of inherent existence, you cannot find. That's why mind doesn't exist within the mind. True nature of the mind is clear light. So more you meditate on the mind, you experience the nature of the mind is luminous and clear light and spacious and stillness. Okay. So the Tibetan word for this, semla semachi semjirajin sawa wo. Okay. This is from the Prajnaparamita Sutra. Semla semanchi semjirajin salva wo. Okay, semla semanchi means mind doesn't exist within the mind. And semjirajin salva means nature of the mind is clear light. So now when you meditate on the mind, look at the mind, and you can't find mind. It's like you peeling the onion, keep peeling, nothing left. All you have is the onion, but there's no seed, there's no solid substance. Okay, that's one example. And the true nature of the mind is clear light. Clear light here referring emptiness. It does not mean some kind of bright light like sunlight, moonlight, or torch or flashlight. And emptiness. Okay, so now I will explain the technique how to meditate. According in Gandhin tradition and Gelug tradition, first of all you meditate on emptiness of personality, and we call Kanzaki Dagme, okay, emptiness of personality, and emptiness of the mind, as the Buddha said in the Heart Sutra. Form is emptiness, emptiness is also form. There is no form other than emptiness, and no emptiness other than form. Likewise, feeling, perception, mental formation, and consciousness. So consciousness, emptiness. Emptiness is also consciousness. There is no consciousness other than emptiness. There is no emptiness other than consciousness. Okay, so you, first of all, you sit on a cushion comfortably, meditate, and you do mindfulness breathing, and we do 9-point breathing exercise, and do samatha mahamudra, and observing your mind. your mind is observing the mind. It's called the resting the mind in a natural state. So you sit down, resting your mind, resting the mind in a natural state. So resting is, the word resting is very important one, because our mind is restless, as you know, and always thinking, asking questions, this and that, busy. And your mind becomes so restless and thinks so much, and your mind is exhausted. Okay. So that's why we need to do resting the mind. Just like the body, when the body is tired, you need to rest, right? You sit down or lie down and so on. Like that, resting the mind in natural state. Why natural state? Unfabricated and unaltered mind. Just be here and now in the present moment. Just be. That's the resting the mind in natural state. Try cultivating calm abiding mind, or not intentionally. When you're sitting, resting your mind in a natural way, natural state, then calm abiding mind is happening naturally. So that's the foundation. Then you do Vipassana Mahamudra. Now here, so you observe your mind. Okay, look at the mind. And you don't see the beginning of mind, you don't see the end of the mind, and you don't see the mind right now, right here, in front of you. And only you see is the subject of the mind, and the awareness. Your mind is the awareness, and knower, and cognizer. That's all you have here. You to know that, and you see now where is mind. You see, you experience some aspect of emptiness of mind, and what we call the dawn of emptiness of the mind. Okay, and then suddenly some thoughts come. Right? And you see, oh, this thought, that thought. But that is your mind, right? But that thought already came, not here. You cannot see the mind, and in other words, your mind, the subject mind and object mind cannot be same time, cannot be simultaneous. They don't exist simultaneously. You only see the second moment of the previous thought that is already arising. Okay? So, but that's previous thought now. And that's okay. You see that? And then it's gone, but no longer holding. Just let it go, and stay in this moment, in this moment. And then naturally awareness is of the mind is here. Awareness is here. And stillness is here. And spaciousness of the mind is happening. And some level of emptiness is happening. Experiencing a little bit. This is you focus the mind on that. And this is Vipassana Mahamudra. And then, now, that's the mind, right? Focus the mind on the mind. But then, what about I? What about the self? I am the person who's meditating on Mahamudra. I'm the meditator of Mahamudra, right? Where is I or self? Same way you look at this I. Okay? So now your mind is the subject, the object is I. Okay? Where is I? What is I? Not so much about where is the I, but what is I? Or what is self? Okay, I or self or me, all those different labels, right? It's the same thing. So what is self? What is I? I is only the concept of I. Self is only the concept of self. There is no self other than the concept of self. There is no I other than concept of I. It's all label. We're imputing the label of self and I on this form, rupa, this body. And we got this habit of doing this. It's there. Now, is that wrong? Putting the label of I or self? No, nothing wrong. It's not only you do have to put the label I or self in order to communicate on a conventional level, right? Nothing is wrong. As long as you are not grasping onto self and I. So you don't grasp on, as long as you don't grasping on self and I. This is the point. So when you meditate in this way, your grasping mind of self and I will be subside, gradually become less and less. So only have the concept of self or I, or nominally, and you function yourself in this life, in this world, this way, dependent arising and emptiness both at the same time. The Lama Tsongkhapa advised, one should meditate on emptiness, dependent arising, both coexist. They do coexist. There is no emptiness without dependent arising. There is no dependent arising without emptiness of self. Right? So, now going back to the meditation, so you observe self on me. There is no self on me. Where is self? There is no self. It's like you are imputing the label of a car and a machine, car, let's say Toyota or whatever, or Honda or Hyundai and Kia, whatever, right? So you input the label on car, and you have all the parts of car, engine and wheels and transmission and etc., etc. And you input the label and made in Japan or made in Korea, and then it becomes a car. And when you take them all apart, there is no Toyota or Hyundai, just parts. Like that, our own person or self doesn't exist when you take them, when you meditate on, you investigate by intellectual mind. This kind of meditation type of meditation is known as a analytical meditation. First we have to do analytical meditation when we do meditation on emptiness of personality. Analyze. And but not too much analyzing. You analyze, then you stop and make closure. You say, okay, now I experience glimpse of emptiness of self or I, or emptiness of mind. But at the same time, on a relative level, there is mind, there is consciousness, there is I. I'm the one who's meditating, I'm the one who's creating good karma. So you make the closure this way, and brief explanation on emptiness of the mind and person, and Vipassana Mahamudra meditation according Gelug tradition. So I like to lead meditation on resting mind in the natural state. So I would like to ask everybody to sit comfortably on meditation cushion or on a chair. Keep your back straight, and so resting your mind in a natural state, which means your mind is in the present moment and here, right here. And do not go to the past, do not go to the future, and only being here in this very moment.